More Music 93.5. Look ahead to more of these radio shows, and your current show will be back on very shortly. Thanks for tuning in.
Good morning, Corning again.
We're finally back. Take 7. And, man, I hope that you guys are patient enough to stay with us. We're having all kinds of trouble, and I'm not even 100% sure what the trouble is, to be honest with you. It makes no sense.
But we can thank Mark Hufford that we're on the air right now.
I didn't want to thank him publicly, though.
Thank you, Mark, for letting us use your
Mark.
hotspot.
I really appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Well, okay. He kind of helped a little.
He helped a lot.
Thanks, Mark, a little. I appreciate these guys. They do help me, all 3 of them. I really appreciate them. And I also appreciate 2 young men right here. These 2 young men who are our next guest, the second guest of the day here on episode number 6. Guys, I want to send it over to you guys. I'm going to give you an opportunity to introduce yourself one at a time, who you are, what you do, hobbies, things of that nature, if you don't mind.
What grade you have.
Yeah. Social security numbers, stuff like that.
Credit card numbers.
And make sure you introduce yourself as the stud that you are. Okay. Make sure you kill that part. I'm just trying to get up on Bart. We'll be all right.
I'm Blaine. I've been playing football since 3rd grade Pee Wee now. Some things I like to do. I like to fish in my free time, and I mow a lot too. And I used to mow yards a lot for money, and that's about it.
About it.
For me. Yeah, that's about it right now.
I'm John Swint. Started playing football probably 3rd grade. I took a break my 8th grade year. But some of my hobbies, I love playing baseball. That's what I do basically in my free time. I work and play baseball. That's about it.
Where do you work at, John?
Harold Implement.
Still working Harold Implement? Good deal.
Now, Blaine, your dad and I went to school together. How is the Corning-Pickett rivalry? Has he ever talked about that? I mean, how do you feel? I know this. You're a senior. You know what we're doing. Has he ever said anything about the Corning-Pickett rivalry?
He has, and I specifically remember he's always said, well, as long as you beat Pickett, like it didn't matter what happened throughout the season. It was like if he was to watch our football game or our basketball games or anything like that, it was like, well, as long as you beat Pickett, you got to beat Pickett. And so that's I feel the rivalry is a big thing, especially with the Rice Bowl and the trophy. It gives both communities something to fight for.
We're keeping that trophy this year, right?
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
And
I love it.
That's what I want to hear.
yeah, and
If you don't, me and Andy's coming out of the booth. Or
It'll
whoever
take me
else.
a while to get down those bleachers.
Hey, we'll get Jeremy after him first.
might roll down there, wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, let's John, I'm going to start with you. This season, what has it meant to you being a senior?
I mean, everything's just different. We've had a lot of people step up being a senior. If I know last year, we had juniors all step up. But it's just I can feel it slowly starting to slip away.
Right.
And it's sad. I wish I can go back and do it all over again. And it's not even over yet. But it means a lot knowing that I get to play.
Yeah.
But
What about you, Blaine?
Well, it was a big difference and a big transition from being a junior to being a senior, because I'll admit last year, going through football, it was just kind of like, I'm here to play and I'll play, but it didn't so much mean as much as it does now, because now it's like, this is probably the last time I'll ever play football again, and it's like I want the good memories from it.
And all 4 of us here are telling you when it's over, it's over.
Yep.
When it's over,
That's
it's
right.
over. Exactly.
Unless we have an alumni football game.
Yeah, I don't know. We can try, Bart. But I want to say I'm good for one drive, and it better be a quick drive. So.
Hey, I can throw the ball pretty good, so I'd like to be the quarterback.
Okay, all right. Hey, speaking of us and speaking of them, all right. So I'm giving you two different looks here. Okay, what's the one thing you notice the biggest difference about our group versus these two?
They got more hair.
Look at that hair, baby. Look at that hair. Then look at us. Look at us. Receding hairline.
Yeah, here you go, folks.
And,
Yeah.
I
shaved that this morning, 6 o'clock.
Did you really?
6 o'clock, I shaved it.
It's warm. It's really warm.
It's hot in here, man.
Yeah.
Hey, all right.
Plus, I'm
And then
sitting
look at these
next.
guys.
Plus,
Come
I'm
on.
sitting next to the legendary.
Hey, no.
We got to get
Andy
these guys
Earl.
back. We got to get them back to school.
I want to know, seriously, who does the hair in the morning for you? Do you guys do it yourself? Does Mom do it? Does somebody else? You guys do it?
It don't take much to fix a mop, Andy. Come on.
Right.
That's a nice looking mop. That's a high end mop right there,
Blaine,
baby.
probably something that people don't know about you. Do you have your pilot's license, or you're working on it?
I'm still working on it. I'm about halfway with my hours. You got to have a certain amount of hours before you
Right.
can get it. I was the last time I went, I was just about to solo and fly by myself, and my instructor kept telling me, he goes, wear a shirt that you don't like, because something they do whenever you get your pilot's license, and or not when you get your pilot's license, but when you solo for the first time, they cut your shirt tail off.
Yeah.
And then you sign it, and usually you'll hang it up or you'll frame it, something like that.
We want to sign that whenever that happens.
All right.
Can we do that, please?
Yeah.
Speaking of that, both you guys are wanting to be pilots. You're going to be going to the ag side of it.
Yeah.
That's pretty
What
awesome.
would be y'all's call names if y'all are like fighter pilots?
Don't say Maverick and Rooster.
What?
Or Goose either.
I'm gonna say Wild Dingo. And I don't know. That's a tough one, man. It's a tough one. That's awesome though, for real. That's really cool. That's really neat. That's something that I would love to do. I'm not talented enough to.
I enjoy it. I mean, it's no different feeling than being in control of something like that in the air.
Yeah, that could take your life.
Exactly.
That's pretty neat. That really is. All right, guys, I got to know, what's it like playing for Coach Shelton? They're being very very wise here. Very, very careful with their verbiage.
Yeah.
There's no penalty flags thrown, so you don't have to do any running.
I like Coach Shelton as a person, just as much as a coach. I mean, it seems like he's always there for us, no matter what. And he'll invite us to his house, and we'll watch football, and his wife will cook a meal for us, and it's just.
Is Monica a good cook?
She's a good cook.
Holler at me next time. I like eating and watching football
Hey,
movies.
she makes this real good
Shelton, where you
cheesesteak.
at?
Yeah. We need to go over and watch Varsity Blues.
Show up. Let's just show up.
Oh, but yeah, it's kind of like another father figure in your life, really, is what it's like.
You heard us talking to Jim Black. Y'all were in here when we were talking about discipline and stuff. How disciplined is your team? I mean, I know y'all respect your coach and everything, but are you senior classmen help mentoring these younger guys or teaching them the ropes and stuff like that?
We really try to. I know we probably don't do as best as we could, which, I mean, you can always do better in anything you do. But we really try, and there's some kids that just harder at taking it, And as far as discipline, I feel like we're decently disciplined, but you can always be more.
See, there might be kids out there that had the same attitude you did last year about we're just playing.
Right.
Yeah.
But if everybody took your senior attitude, like this is it,
Right.
Hey, is Swin's microphone on?
Yeah, he's a little shy.
He is. Go ahead and hit him.
He ain't shy on the football field.
No.
No, he isn't. Putting his head down, running people over. Of course, quarterback, you got
Yelling at people when they don't block for him.
Yeah.
Hey.
After the Manila game, I took my helmet off. I have a big old bruise right across my forehead.
What has been y'all's number one memory in your entire football career from 7th grade, or even Pee Wee?
We know the answer already.
I'm just going to say, what's y'all's number one memory for you guys?
The Rice Bowl.
Yes.
The
Yes.
Rice
Who did
Bowl
we
was-
beat?
Piggott.
Yes, sir.
When we was playing, usually when you play and you're really focused on the game, you don't hardly hear a lot from the stands. You know, like, I mean, it could be loud, but you just don't hear it. But during the Pickett game, you could hear it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Andy, would you like to hear what our other commentator sent me in a text? Y'all look like the clowns in the little car at the circus all behind that booth.
Here we go. There it is. That's us.
There you go.
Dun, 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 dun.
Was that Jeremy?
Yeah, that was
He's gonna be
Jeremy.
getting some of
He
this
always-
out.
Oh, Huff Daddy.
I always have such nice words.
Hey,
Compliments, too.
let's go back to school now. You guys, what is one of your favorite classes? John, let's start with you.
My AP lit class,
Being lit.
Miss Davis.
Yeah, we're both in that class.
She's pretty cool, isn't
She
she?
seems to be
pretty
the
cool,
favorite,
yeah.
doesn't she?
Yeah.
She is the favorite. I think that's not the first time we've heard that, is it?
No, it's not.
Wow. What are you guys doing there?
Probably stare at her because she is pretty.
They've been watching Good Morning Corning on
Yep.
Fridays.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, every
do.
Friday morning we'll watch it.
So right now your classmates are watching you guys.
Right.
Yep.
More than likely.
Probably,
awesome.
yeah. They're probably sitting there making fun of
No,
us,
they're
so-
jealous.
Yeah.
They're jealous of the suit or the coat and the tie and the hairstyles.
Man, it looks good. It's looking good, I'll tell you that.
How did y'all feel about when they started, or when they wanted to start wearing ties and stuff? Were you for it?
I was all for it because I'd heard from my dad and y'all being in high school that that's what y'all did back then, and I felt a little bit of tradition wouldn't hurt us.
Plus, Blaine likes to look pretty.
Oh yeah, always.
Or his girlfriend?
It don't matter who it is. He wants to look pretty.
Going into we're rounding up close to the end of the season. What is something you guys expect to be able to do that, as fans, we're going to be able to see?
Beat Piggott.
Beat Piggott.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We'll take that one for sure.
Yes, sir.
This year I'm actually going to get to play in Piggott. I'm not going to get hurt.
There we go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Do both of y'all play basketball, or either one of y'all? Neither one.
Not
Okay.
any. I don't play
I
basketball.
don't play
You're
anymore.
in the Woo crew then.
Oh yeah. I can't wait for Woo Crew season. I love it.
Do we know what the themes are this year yet? Has that already been decided?
Not yet. We usually decide,
The day before.
the day before, like
Yeah.
a week before each game.
I'll tell you, one of my favorite ones is when Will Scobie and them set up the booth like there's an ESPN.
Yeah,
that was awesome,
cool.
man.
Yeah, yeah.
I wish we had a picture of that we could show, but that was one of the best ones I've ever seen.
Right.
They had you remember that, don't you?
I don't. I really
They had the
don't.
booth down there and they had their coat and ties on like they was on ESPN broadcast.
cool.
It was awesome.
That's awesome. I like that.
We have to dig up some pictures. I'm sure we can find them.
John, if you could go talk to a kid that says in the 3rd or 4th grade right now, just started football, what would you tell him that you wish somebody would have told you?
Just don't ever give up. Just keep fighting for it. Always play 100%. Don't ever take anything off of it. Because I mean, if you take any off of it, you're not being to the full potential you can be for when you get up to high school.
Blaine, what about you?
Enjoy every moment of it. Don't sit around and dread it because it's an opportunity. It's not something that you just have to do. It's something you get to do.
And it goes by quick because I can remember both you guys
Oh, yeah.
playing back in Pee Wee's.
Oh, yeah.
I remember.
It's fixing to be over with.
Yeah.
So
That's wild. It really is. It does. And especially the older you get, the worse it is.
Yep.
Seems like Christmas was just yesterday. Here we go again.
11
So
more
expensive.
Saturdays.
So thanks, Rich.
Actually, yesterday was October the 13th, I believe.
Yeah, it's coming up really close.
Yeah, you got a
Really
bunch of
close.
Christmas presents to buy, Andy.
I do, man. I got too many kids, man.
Who's going to do a fundraiser for you?
I need it. Citywide fundraiser. So you guys have got some new assistants this year, obviously. So it's a whole new coach. I know you guys have gone through that a little bit in your careers. Tell us a little bit about these new assistants this year.
Trevor Barrages.
Trevor
Talk about
Barrages. I can always be on the field and say when we're running scout team, he'll be quarterback of the scout team, and he's always got something to say. He's always joking around with us, But when it comes time to be serious, he's serious, and I like that about him.
I noticed Trevor has a good arm. He threw the ball from the sidelines to the Coach Pogue out there last night, and It was a perfect spiral. I
Right.
didn't know he could throw like
It-
that.
Hey, he was a heck of a basketball player in
Well,
high school.
basketball.
You guys
Well,
rough him up.
you
out
know,
there?
he
Oh,
wants,
if you
he
catch
wants
him-
to play quarterback. Let's talk him in and put some pads on and let him actually hit him.
I
Y'all
was
deal with
just
it.
going to say, do you guys rough him up a little bit out there?
Oh, yesterday we had this one where I had to hit him because he was playing outside linebacker, and when I went to hit him, he just stopped, and I kind of had momentum going, and I ran into him a little bit.
You put him down?
Oh, I knocked him back, and I was like, "I'm sorry," and he was like, "Oh, it's okay, I'm okay."
Somebody check on Trent today. Someone give him an ice pack. He's going to need it.
Well, we also got Connor Daniels on board now. You guys played for his dad, didn't you? Back in Pee Wee's.
Oh,
Yes,
Jed.
So is he as good as his dad yet?
I don't
Oh,
know. That
Jed may or may not be watching. We cannot confirm nor deny.
Jed's he's got some more experience under his
Right,
belt.
guarantee.
More probably more knowledge.
Right, and one thing that was hard was to call him Coach Daniels, because growing up playing for his dad and him always being
Right.
there, it was always by his first name. See, I'm not even gonna say it on here.
Does anybody accidentally call him Connor out there at practice?
I'll tell you what, Jackson Davis sure does.
Davis.
Jackson Davis does, and
Makes him
he
run
makes
every
him
day.
run.
He had to run
yeah.
gassers.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, almost every day.
Jackson ought to be in pretty good shape then.
Yeah.
oh.
That's funny.
That's good conditioning, though.
That's right.
So going into tonight, what do we need to know about Walnut Ridge?
It's not what we need to know. It's what you guys need to know.
Yeah.
They're orange and white. That's what I know for sure.
What do we expect? What are y'all expecting?
Number 2's going to take you
Number
where the ball
2.
is.
Yeah.
He's lead blocking every time.
If you watch number 2, he'll be there.
Is it going to be a battle on the lines from what I'm seeing?
It's gonna be.
Their
a battle on the
quarterback's a
lines.
good runner, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who was it we were told if so-and-so lines up over here, the ball's coming this way? Is that what?
Well, they do like a strong side, an unbalanced line, and they do like to run towards that. But at the end of the day, it's execution. It doesn't matter. You can know what they're doing, but if they can execute, it's irrelevant.
Right.
But I think it'll be a lot of fun to watch the battle in the trenches tonight. I do.
Oh yeah.
I think it'll be a lot of fun. I think that'll be a slobber knocker down there, and I really think so. I think it'll be fun to watch.
When we're at home playing, y'all can't hear me when I announce your name or anything out there?
Not hardly.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to go by a nickname? Because he does it. I mean, Rich is the PA guy. If y'all want a nickname, now's the time to tell him.
Hey, I'm not one to choose a nickname.
Can y'all hear me hollering at the officials sometimes from up there?
Oh, I don't.
No, that I can't
I'm
hear.
sure I probably have heard. Yeah.
I can hear that.
I tell you what, I can always count on hearing Amy Jordan.
Yes.
That I
I
can
took
tell
my
you.
headset off the other night and I said, "Throw the flag!" And Jeremy said, "Folks, in case you were wondering who that was Bart."
He has passion. Let's call it passion.
Is that when everybody in the stands turned around and looked at us up there?
Probably.
So.
I got a question for you. After watching junior high last night on the Walnut Ridge side, when they came up to the O-line, they changed.
Yeah.
Are you we going to see that against them tonight?
Are we disciplined enough to watch the ball and not?
Who won
jump
last
off
night?
sides?
Walnut Ridge.
Both games.
No.
They did
seventh
because
grade
every
won.
time they would do that,
I watched a
you
little
know,
bit of
we'd
that
jump
over
off
from the
sides.
sideline.
Right.
Instead of watching the ball.
That's something we've been practicing too, and as a lineman, it's easier to sit there and watch the ball, and so you always got to keep your eyes on the ball there. But yeah.
Now you guys are. Is it 3 days pads throughout the week, or is it 2?
2 days full pads,
Okay.
2 days helmets, and we watch a lot of film.
A lot of film.
Yeah, we've heard that a couple
Yeah.
times.
A lot of
players. A lot of. Do y'all enjoy that film study?
Yeah. I enjoy watching it because it gives you a special advantage that both teams have, and you just got to take advantage of that.
Before Coach Shelton got here, was that something that y'all had a lot of? Was film study kind of a?
Not so much film study. I mean, it was kind of like an on your own thing.
Yeah.
But knowing that we'll come in and we'll watch film, that puts a better ease on my mind about the game.
Awesome.
So would you like to start that earlier on Saturdays, like 5, 6 o'clock? Instead of,
No, Mark, don't give Coach any ideas.
No.
Don't give Coach any ideas.
I'm
man.
fine.
Hey,
I'm
you
fine
may get
with
that
the
nose
8 o'clock.
broke after all. You keep talking that mess.
Do you guys have any superstitions? Any game day superstitions?
Not me, not really.
Y'all
I'll
wear-
tell you who does. That's Eli Mason.
Yeah.
Eli Mason, he'll wear the same underwear, the same watch, the same tie if he wants to.
Man.
Yeah.
All the way down to his tie. Everything.
Oh, yeah.
You don't eat the same food on Friday or anything like that?
I used to go to Subway, but man, Subway before a game, I always like to get that Chipotle sauce on my stuff.
I love that
It'll
stuff.
tear
man.
me up. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Blaine's going to be the one
Blaine's
that's
running a
brown
4-5-40
streaking
to
his
the
life.
To the bathroom.
He's running hard all year.
Oh, yeah.
Son, his hind end was smoking.
That's awesome. What kind of music do you guys listen to on game days?
Mostly
Miley Cyrus?
mostly rap,
Okay.
country, rock. You know,
About it all.
yeah.
About
You know,
everything.
heavier stuff. You know,
You like Metallica?
yeah. I like
I do
Metallica.
too.
Whose idea was it to come out to Dire Straits at home last week? Or 2 weeks ago, I guess.
I can't remember exactly whose it was.
Well, let's not play that song again.
Why?
We lost that night. We lost that
Okay,
night.
Mr. Eli Mason. He's got the same underwear on, too?
Let me look.
I know we put Ethan in charge of the music.
Yeah.
Oh, Ethan.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
I'm surprised
Hey,
Conway Twitty wasn't on.
I learned something about Ethan on the way to Memphis a couple of weeks ago. Me and him and Jeff Page and
Sorry, Ethan.
Timothy went to watch the ASU in Memphis. He can sing any song that comes on the radio. I'm talking any
Match the
country,
tones,
yeah, rap, you name it. He can sing them all.
That's impressive. Where did he get that from?
I don't know.
Definitely Bart.
I can sing quite a few songs.
Okay.
Enough about that.
Enough about that, please.
Just get over and sit down on the couch, Rich.
Oh, I need to. I need to.
Are you numb yet from sitting on the stool?
Man, I tell you what.
You guys, I've been in the locker room last year before a game starts, and Coach has you have a quiet time before then. To me, now you don't have to answer this, but to me that would kind of, I don't know, put me in the mood. I want to be pumped up, ready to go.
I kind of like it.
Well, they come out to run out through the Bobcat, and there's not a lot of pumping up going on. What, is y'all still focused, calm, or what?
It's kind of like a focus thing. It's before every game, and I'm sure I can speak for everyone. You get this little feeling, that nobody else will get, and it's just a different kind of feeling, coming from the locker room to the field and seeing everybody in the stands, the lights, the field, everything. It's a whole different feeling.
Well, when I remember being in the locker room when Coach Campbell was a coach, you weren't allowed to talk or anything. It was always shut up and think about the games, whatever.
Well, I think a lot of
think about the game.
I think maybe some of the strategic part of that is I think a lot of teams they get themselves overhyped, and you come out in these big games, and I think that's a thing. I really do. And I think I think that's a good remedy for it. I really do what they're doing there. I think, anyways. I was always like you guys. I was very calm. I was never the raw type. But everyone's different. That's the beauty of it,
I got one question for you.
Hit
Did
me.
you drink milk before the game?
I wanted to. I really did. I wanted
But
to.
you knew what was happening if you did.
No, I don't think Coach would have been okay with the big gallon jug coming through.
Oh, folks, if you didn't see it last week, go back and watch the Hoxie game. I don't remember what part of the game, but Andy poured some milk all over himself.
I tried to chug it, and it just didn't go right.
I always see your posts on Facebook where it's like, it's going to be a good night. I got my milk.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
already a good day.
Hey, I brought him milk. I brought him milk.
I'm trying to pace myself, though. Let's get that on there. Just trying to pace myself. So I'm
Where'd you
about
get that
halfway
milk at,
through.
Andy?
Some guy, really nice guy.
Is he bald-headed?
He is.
Freshly
by
shaven?
choice. By choice. But yeah. So
They didn't have
Don't
that
bring
big
milk.
one last week. So
That's
that's why I
okay.
brought
No,
the little
that's
one last
I
week.
appreciate it. I really do. Fellas, I think we're past our time here, and a little bit that's our fault. Obviously, we got started late. But is there anything before we get off here and get you guys back to class? Is there anything that you guys want to say in closing here? Any shout-outs you want to give? Anything like that?
Shout out to my mom and dad. I love y'all.
Oh, that was nice, Blaine.
Yeah.
Shout out to my mom and dad,
There you go. Very good.
all my family.
There you go.
He don't love his
Grandma.
mom and dad.
They don't love me.
I can do it. I couldn't do it at your age, so it's
Really?
better than me. No, I still haven't told my dad I love him. We don't even hug. We tried that one time. It's the most awkward thing you ever
I'm gonna hug you. If I see your dad tonight, I'm gonna hug
Just
him
go
and tell
hug
him I
him.
love him. I love you, old man River.
That's Blaine Ryan John.
Hey guys, good luck tonight. Hey, get out there and play your butts off.
Yes, sir.
Every one of you.
We know they'll do that. Thank you guys for coming in. They did a great job. Guys, we owe you a commercial break. We'll be right back with our last interview, Mr. Britt Hot Dog James.
Oh, hot dog.
Right, these words from our sponsor. Red Taylor Ford, your family-owned and operated hometown dealer right here in Corning for over 45 years now. Any of your automotive needs, go by and see them, whether it's sales, maybe new or used, or parts or service. They've got you taken care of. You can see them Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., or Saturday, 7 to noon. A lot of friendly faces there, like David and Brent Taylor, Jim Clifton. Or you can call those fine folks at 870-857-3516. Find them on Facebook. Find them online, www.redtailorford.com. Proud sponsors of KBKG More Music 93.5 FM and of the Corning Bobcats. KBKG More Music 93.5 FM. Corning's hometown station. That's what you're listening to right now, and we appreciate you for tuning in. Hey guys, if you want to tune in every Friday night during football season, we'll have all the Corning Bobcat football games live on your radio waves right here. Also select basketball games, baseball, and softball games. That's right here, More Music 93.5. Also, we want to say thank you to Jim Atkins, owner-operator at KBKG, for all he does and for allowing us to do this radio show this morning, and Amanda Sutphin for all of her help, and Rob Barnett for all he does as well. Again, KBKG, More Music 93.5, Corning's hometown station. Go Cats, go. You're listening to Good Morning Corning, our new radio station here in our hometown of Corning, Arkansas, hosted by myself, Andy Earls, and co-hosted by Bart White and Mark Hufford, right here on KBKG, More Music 93.5. Look ahead to more of these radio shows, and your current show will be back on very shortly. Thanks for tuning in. Red Taylor Ford, your family-owned and operated hometown dealer right here in Corning for over 45 years now. Any of your automotive needs, go by and see them, whether it's sales, maybe new or used, or parts or service. They've got you taken care of. You can see them Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., or Saturday, 7 to noon. A lot of friendly faces there, like David and Brent Taylor, Jim Clifton. Or you can call those fine folks at 870-857-3516. Find them on Facebook. Find them online, www.redtailorford.com. Proud sponsors of KBKG More Music 93.5 FM and of the Corning Bobcats. KBKG More Music 93.5 FM. Corning's hometown station. That's what you're listening to right now, and we appreciate you for tuning in. Hey guys, if you want to tune in every Friday night during football season, we'll have all the Corning Bobcat football games live on your radio waves right here. Also select basketball games, baseball, and Red Taylor Ford, your family-owned and operated hometown dealer right here in Corning for over 45 years now. Any of your automotive needs, go by and see them, whether it's sales, maybe new or used, or parts or service. They've got you taken care of. You can see them Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., or Saturday, 7 to noon. A lot of friendly faces there, like David and Brent Taylor, Jim Clifton. Or you can call those fine folks at 870-857-3516. Find them on Facebook. Find them online, www.redtailorford.com. Proud sponsors of KBKG More Music 93.5 FM and of the Corning Bobcats. KBKG More Music 93.5 FM. Corning's hometown station. That's what you're listening to right now, and we appreciate you for tuning in. Hey guys, if you want to tune in every Friday night during football season, we'll have all the Corning Bobcat football games live on your radio waves right here. Also select basketball games, baseball, and softball games. That's right here, More Music 93.5. Also, we want to say thank you to Jim Atkins, owner-operator at KBKG, for all he does and for allowing us to do this radio show this morning, and Amanda Sutphin for all of her help, and Rob Barnett for all he does as well. Again, KBKG, More Music 93.5, Corning's hometown station. Go Cats, go. You're listening to Good. And we're back here live. Good morning, Corning. Episode number 6. Andy Earls with these goofballs. I like to go by Bart, Mark, and Rich. Lord help me. Please
That's
help
a pretty
me.
good saying. Bart, Mark, and Rich.
Yeah, please, Larry, Curly, Moe. All right, we've got our
You know
next.
who Curly is.
BMR. Hey, it's BMR, baby.
We've got our next guest on, Mr. Britt James, Hot Dog as they call him. And Mr. James, if you don't mind, if you'll kind of intro yourself here, tell everybody a little bit about yourself, your hobbies, what you're doing now, things of that nature. And we'll start asking questions after that.
All right, sounds good. Good morning to everybody. And glad to be on this morning. This is Britt James. Used to live in Corning many, many years ago. About 52 years ago tonight, we were playing Walnut Ridge, cracking that nut hill. And since then, I've been in radio. I was in radio for 25 years. Got out of radio and went back to school, basically teaching. Teaching kids in high school and coaching in high school tennis and track. Springdale, Arkansas, which I live in Canada now. Been here for 30-something years. So anyway, now I'm retired and just going to visit grandkids. Taking it easy.
Hey, Britt, this is Rich Martin. I was telling these guys about Hot Dog Disco. Where did Hot Dog come from?
Well, Rich, Hot Dog was actually in high school, followed me to college in Arkansas State from 71 to 75. And I ran track at Arkansas State, but I played intramural basketball. And in fact, Coach Treadway, who just retired a year or two ago, he was one of the basketball officials there at our intramural games there at OSU. And when the fraternities got together and played, there were some pretty heated matchups. So I could play basketball. I love track, but I played basketball for the fraternity, Lambda Chi Alpha. And it kind of started there, playing basketball. Pistol Pete was my idol, so I tried to follow Pistol Pete.
There you go.
Liked to shoot a lot. Some guys didn't like to play with me because I shot too much.
I had that problem when I played basketball, too.
On the basketball court.
Got some pictures.
Hey, Brett, what did you teach in high school?
I taught a work-study program. It was called JAG, and that was Jobs for Arkansas Graduates. We took kids that maybe needed just a few credits to graduate, and they had a part-time job. So we taught them about jobs and about workplace activities, and how to find a job and how to get a job, and then how to keep a job. So it was a very good program for our high school. We had lots of kids that had to work part-time. They'd come to school in the morning till about noon, and they might have a part-time job in the afternoon or evenings or even on the weekends. And so we just basically mentored those kids.
That's a program that is beneficial to the community and all. That's something else we need to bring back.
Yes, it really is. If your school doesn't have it, they could contact Department of Workforce Ed in the state of Arkansas and find out about the program. It really helps kids. The biggest problem with the smaller communities is sometimes they don't have enough jobs. But, we're talking about kids that they could work on farms and in the workplace, some of the businesses around town. They could even work out of town as long as they work 15 hours a week. Then they could qualify for those credits to complete their education and then go into a career field that they really enjoy.
Hey, Britt, you played under Coach Stovall and Coach Snow. Tell us the difference. Tell us the difference in their coaching styles.
Well, I tell you what, I was fortunate to be able to do that when you play for two great coaches like respected him. He was my Uncle Bob James' best friend, and so I followed his career and watched him coach. Used to go and watch the high school practices, and couldn't wait till I got to be in high school to play for him. But he was just a great football mind, a good coach. Actually had the opportunity to watch him some earlier in the 60s, and admired, his teams for their toughness and their discipline. And so got to play for him that 1 year, but then he moved to Walnut Ridge my junior year. And so we were on the opposite sideline, and that was tough. But Coach Snow came in. He was the same type of disciplinarian. Coach Snow was one of those guys. He was a player's coach. He was tough, but he'd do anything for you. As long as you were doing, things the right way, he was always there to support you. And so very fortunate to play for him my junior year. We lost to Walnut Ridge my junior year. We beat Walnut Ridge the sophomore year. Coach Stovall was the head coach there. But then he flipped and went down to coach the other Bobcats down there, and he beat us our junior year. But we came back with Coach Snow. I think we ended up 6-4 my junior season, which was in '69. But then in 1970, that's when we won the first district championship for Coach Snow. We'd already won it in '68, so 2 out of 3 years we won conference championships. And when you've got great teammates and great coaches, things they go together well. So enjoy playing for both those guys, and still love them to this day. Coach Snow has passed. He was a great mentor.
Britt, you're talking about that 1970 team. Tell me about you may have already said this. I had to go monitor the audio for a little bit, but tell me about that 1970 Corning Walnut Ridge game.
I'll tell you what, it came down. That was for the conference. Back then we called it the district championship. We were in 2A district, and we got beat first 2 games of the year. Mark Tree was the number 1 ranked team in the state. They beat us pretty handily there at Corning. Seemed like it was 35-12 or something like that. So we looked our wins after that one. Came back the next week, opened the 70 season at home against Piggott. And we had Piggott beat, but we fumbled a kickoff late in the ball game, and they gave them a short field to go in and win, get the winning touchdown. So after that, we went on a rampage. We won 8 games in a row. I mean, we beat everybody. We had 3 or 4 shutouts in there. Got down to the last conference game of the year against Walnut Ridge. And Coach Daniel, E.T. Daniels, was our secondary coach. I played free safety and split in. He kept telling us all weekend, and we just got to keep this guy in front of us. He was talking about Mac McLean, who was the fastest back in the district. And he said, we got to keep, just like basketball, keep him between you and the goal. And that's what we did that week. We held him down all game. Finally, Mike Walls kicked a field goal. I can't remember. Somebody may know how long that field goal
33 yards.
Probably some of the Walls brothers knows.
33 yards, Britt.
How long?
33 yards is what I was told, and I was told that's the record at Corning, too.
Stovall at our alumni meeting several years ago, I thought it was 40 yards, so I was off. I'm glad to know that. 33 yards. I will not forget that. I was the holder for Mike on the field goals, extra points. Mike was the first soccer-style kicker in the state of Arkansas.
Wow.
Most all the other kickers at other high schools were straight on. I mean, Jerry Smith, our sophomore year, played wingback. He was a straight-on kicker. Mike came in the next year as a junior, and during the summertime, we would practice together, and he'd say, Brett, I'm going to try this. I'm going to move over here 2 steps and try this and see if I can get a little more speed. He wanted to get it up there quicker and a little bit more power behind my leg. And so I said, okay, let's work on that. So he was the first goes in motion, I want you to follow him. I want you to be in front of him the entire time. If he goes in motion, go with him. If he stays set, he plays wing back, half back. They split him out wide sometimes. I want you to be in front of him and not let him get behind you. And that was the same thing Coach Daniels taught us as a secondary coach. He said, keep him in front, keep your eyes on him at all times. And we did that the entire game, which was amazing because that guy was so fast, man. There's no way anybody could catch him if he got, by you. You weren't going to catch him. So one play started out, it was a quick pitch. Basically, they reversed it, and then he reversed his field. He started out to the right, the Walnut Ridge sideline, and then he cut it back across the field. And when he did that, he was on the Corning sideline, and he ran for about probably 50, 60 yards straight down the sideline. Nobody could catch him because he had cut back. But the one advantage that I never beat him in track in high school, but I had the angle on him at free safety, and as I came over, I caught him, knocked him out of bounds at the 1-yard line, and there was about a minute left to go in the game.
Wow.
Stopped the clock, of course, but when I tackled him, we rolled several times, and I just tackled him out of bounds. We rolled several times, and he got injured when, I was only 160 pounds.
Kamikaze coming in there.
It wasn't that big a hit, but I had my speed going, my momentum going, and when I hit him, he went out of the game. He didn't come back in, and I really think that's why we won the game, because they didn't have him in the backfield the last 4 downs that we held him, from the 1-yard line. So they went right, they went left, they went up the middle twice, and when we stopped them on that last down, the clock expired.
Wow.
Time on the clock.
Wow.
We had a helmet up in the air, and this is the honest truth. I do not remember that helmet coming down.
It may not have. We need to look for that tonight while we're over there.
But I didn't have my helmet. We went into the dressing room. We were so excited. We held them 4 down inside a minute to play. But I thought I was going to be in trouble on Sunday at practice because I didn't have my helmet. Guess who came to practice with my helmet? Mike Wall's dad.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey,
So that was a culmination of a long and wild and crazy weekend in Corning.
hey, Brett, you're talking about playing Walnut Ridge. How big was the rivalry between Corning and Walnut Ridge back then?
I think that rivalry was as big or bigger than the Piggott rivalry because it was towards the end of the season. We played Piggott earlier in the year, except in 1968 when we played Piggott Thanksgiving Day 1968, and we shut them out 33-0. That 68 team, I still talk to people about today. In fact, I told David Wilson, who wrote, his new book, I Grew Up in a Small Town. I told him that I thought that 68 team was probably, I know it was the best team that I played on, but I think it was one of the best teams of all time. And I didn't get to hear Coach Stovall last week on your program, and I don't know if he feels the same way or not, but I sure felt that there were so many good players on that team that it was an honor to go to practice and just try to make it through practice against those guys. I think Walnut Ridge was a bigger rivalry, and it was after that Walnut Ridge and Corning got so big because, like I said, we played Piggott the last game of the year in '68, but we didn't play. We played them, earlier in the year, next 2 years.
Hey, Britt, in 1968, you were part of the Bobcats' first district championship team. Tell us about the team in that season.
Okay, '68, we started off, we went to Dyersburg, Tennessee, and they were a huge school in Kentucky. Well, no, it was Tennessee, I'm sorry. I think we also played a team from Paducah, like Paducah Tillman or somebody like that. But Dyersburg, Tennessee kicked us really hard. Then we went down to Batesville. Of course, they were, at that time, that bigger school. they beat us. It was a good game, 18-6, I think. After that, we ran the rest of the season off, but we won every game. And that 68 team, let me tell you, man, I still remember the guys that started 68. Bobby Miller was the center. Mike Smith, Coach Mike, Roy Rhodes were the guards. Jim Manette, John Burnett were the tackles. Joey Lewis was the tight end, meanest guy I ever played against. That guy, he was the only Corning. He made All-American. I don't think there's been an All-American since then from Corning, but he was. He was the first and probably the only All-American.
Yep.
Kelly Lou Allen, the late great Kelly Lou Allen played in. Ricky Witchell was the quarterback. Benny Skaggs was the fullback, and Roger Hill, we called him Pedro. He was the tailback. He scored the first touchdown in Bobcat Field history there in Corning. But those guys were so good and so tough that I played free safety back then as a sophomore and had to go against those guys. Joby Lewis would come out there tight end, walk down on me. He'd tell me, he says, I'm going to come out here and knock your butt off. You just get up like it didn't even happen. I said, okay, Joy. I said, I may fake it. He said, that's all right. He said, I'm going to come out here and do my job just so you know. That's how good that team was. And I tell you what, so many great players. Those guys set the standard Corning football back then. And we just tried to continue. We couldn't live up to them, but we just tried to continue that tradition that they set back, Coach Stovall and those teams back in the 60s, continuing on with Coach No and then, of course, Coach Campbell after that.
Britt, you kind of alluded to it a little bit, but we've I don't know if you've got us on the live stream or not there at home, but right now on the live stream we've got a picture up, and that picture is at the banquet that you're the master of ceremonies for us. And it's a picture of you along with Pedro Hill, Keith Walls, and Earl Harmon all right there with you. That's on our screen right now. Tell us a little bit about Earl Harmon, too.
I remember that picture from that night. Of course, Earl's passed since then, but Keith Walls and Pedro. Pedro was the toughest tailback that I ever had to try to tackle. He just would not go down, and he's a great guy. Let me tell you about Keith Walls. You had Jim Black on earlier this morning. I tried to listen to that interview. You didn't get to listen to much of it, but Jim Black and Keith Walls, I think they were ninth graders when I was a senior. We got to play a few games where they travel with us. We'd go to Rector and Marmaduke and play in basketball. Those two guys at Corning were the best two basketball players that I can remember in junior high, because after that, of course, I graduated. I was a senior and went to ASU. Didn't get to see them play in high school.
Yeah.
But those two guys were the best junior high basketball players I ever saw.
I think they were undefeated. I think they were undefeated in junior high, if I remember hearing that story correct.
They probably were. I never saw them lose a game, but of course we didn't get to see every game they played, because some nights they played on different nights than we did.
You mentioned the Manette boys. The Manette boys, didn't they go to ASU too?
Yes, John did. Jim went, but he didn't play football. John started. John was an offensive tackle, and Ken Keene, who was a defensive back coach, had told me I was at ASU the same time John was there. He told me John Manette was the strongest lineman that he ever coached at ASU. That's saying something, because he was a great player too.
Hey, Brett, you mentioned Jerry Davis earlier. I worked for Jerry from 2000 until time he passed away, but I've heard several stories about you from him.
Oh, really?
Yep. Yeah, he told me you was pretty fast.
Yeah, I was fast. Jerry was fast too, though, and Jerry could jump out of the gym. He was a great basketball player too.
I've heard that.
Let me tell you something. He played halfback for us, 69 and 70, and he was one tough older brother, Jim, and of course Jim was All-State. Jerry should have been All-State if he wasn't All-State, but let me tell you, he was a great athlete. He ran on the track team with me, ran on our relay teams, and Jerry Davis was just one of the best athletes ever come through Corning.
Hey, speaking of jumping, Britt, I'm looking at the Corning High School track records here for boys, and the oldest record that's still standing on the books is from 1971 by a guy named Britt James. And that record is a long jump record.
How long?
20 foot 2 inches.
Man.
20 foot 2, yeah. That was what my goal was, to get just 19.6, I think, my senior year. But my goal was to get to 20 feet. Finally did it my senior year, and maybe in at the state meet. But I can't believe that record is still standing today. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, 51, 52 years, whatever that is. That's
impressive.
Well, I went to school on a track scholarship at ASU, and that's what it was for long jump and triple jump. But that amazes me. 52 years later, still that record still stands. Unbelievable.
Now, wasn't your son really fast too?
Yeah, my son, let me tell you, he was a better jumper than me, Chris. Here at Fayetteville High School, he won the state indoor 2 years in a row back late 90s. He was a 23-foot long jumper now.
Holy
He
smokes.
was a better athlete than me, let me tell you. And that's what makes a father proud when your son is better than you. You can't ask for anything more than that, but he wasn't.
Hey,
He went to Missouri Southern and track scholarship up there at Joplin, Missouri.
Britt, if we could get some of those grandkids over here to Corning, we can find a place for them to stay.
I got 2 extra bedrooms.
You know what? That would be great. I've got 5 grandkids, 4 boys and 1 girl, so I could get those boys over there. Athletes. It'll be a few years. I might not be around when they're playing, but I'd sure like to see that.
How old are your grandsons, Britt?
Oh, let's see. The oldest is only 3, so.
Oh,
well.
well, my wife loves kids. Send them on.
Their kids the last 2-3 years, they're all young.
Hey, Brett, just this Richard Martin again. Just recently, we lost John David Richardson. Do you have fond memories of John David?
Yes, I do.
I thought you did.
We called him Chiefo. You know why we called him Chiefo?
No.
This should be good.
Because he was always in charge. He was my chemistry teacher my senior year. I think he got there in 68 or 69. And when he came, he fresh out of college, I believe. He was a young buck, but that guy, he was a great mentor, a great teacher. I was actually there in his class when he had that accident at school.
Oh, wow.
We were in chemistry class, and he told us he was going to go out and conduct an experiment outside, but he didn't want any of us to go outside with him. He wanted us to stay in the classroom just in case something went awry, something happened that he wasn't expecting. And sure enough, he went out there by himself. It was between 2 buildings, and he'd already dug a hole to put the experiment down into the ground. But as he got out there and started to put it down in the ground, the sun reacted with whatever he was. I don't even remember the experiment that we were conducting because he was in charge of it. We were just supposed to watch. And when he knelt down over that little hole that he'd made in the ground to put whatever the solution was, the chemical that reacted with the sun, it blew up in his face, and it was we were just all frightened. Horrible thing to see.
He was my next door neighbor.
We ran out, to try to help. Yeah. We didn't know what to do. I think you kids ran down to the principal's office, and then we ran out to try to help him. And then some of us, a couple of the ag boys that were in the class, Randall Coleman and some others, I think, ran out to Mr. Adams out of the ag building to try to get him to get some water, where we could help him. And that's what we did. We got water, tried to flush it out of his eyes, but it actually blew off 2 or 3 of his fingers, surgeries. But that man, you never heard him complain after that accident. But he was trying to protect us. He knew that something possibly could happen, but he knew not to have us out there around. If we'd all been standing around it, we would all been hit with flying glass, from the beaker.
Yeah.
And there could have been a lot more people injured, but he was trying to protect us, so we stayed in the classroom, and he suffered the consequences.
He
was a great man.
He was my next door neighbor, and we were talking about that explosion, and he said that it was close to the end of the school year, wasn't it?
Yes, sir. It was in the springtime. I remember that.
He said it was going to be like the last experiment that they do, and he said that before, when he got the chemicals out, one of them was old or something, and he said that when he bent, you talked about him bending down. When he bent down, he said the next thing he remembered was waking up in a cloud of smoke, and he didn't even realize that it had blown his hand off at the time. And somebody brought him a towel, and he wrapped that up. But he was the smartest and the most, the smartest and I always told him he had like I said, he lives next door to me, or lived next door to me, and downstairs he had a laboratory down there, and I went down there and saw his laboratory, and it was really neat.
You said he was brilliant. He was the smartest man I think I've ever met. And let me tell you something, I was not a good chemistry student. If it hadn't been for him, I wouldn't have made a C. I mean, I was not that smart. But he was such a mentor that I learned so much about life just being in his class, because he taught us a lot about life, things that would happen to us later in life. And I respected that man his entire life. He was a great teacher, great. I heard after that became a principal, a great principal, and then he was a great mentor.
Yeah. Now, Britt, tell us a little bit about what you're doing these days.
Well, I tell you what, Andy, I don't get up and do much. I'm retired now. So he doesn't read the sports page and do a crossword puzzle. And, I've started to try to get ready to play pickleball. I've got my pickleball.
Oh, boy.
They've got some courts up here, and of course I coached tennis at Springdale for 15 years. So I'm getting into the pickleball thing, and still play a little golf with my son. Sometimes, different now and then, not all the time. But tennis was my game. I love tennis. Coach Campbell loved tennis.
Yep.
I used to play with, when I was in Corning, I used to play with Bobby Ballinger and Mr. Phillip, H.K. Phillip, and
Yeah.
Coach Campbell would team up, and they usually beat us because they knew how to do those dink and dunk shots, But I'm just taking
Finesse.
it easy and going and visiting grandkids. I've got 2 grandkids in Virginia, 2 here in Springdale, and 1 in Laguna Beach, California. So I just go back and forth coast to coast. I drive a lot. I fly out to California sometimes to see Jack. That's my son, Matt's boy. He's the eldest. He's 3. And then I'm just traveling around seeing those grandkids. And I'll tell you what, it's a lot of fun.
Do you still have your drum set?
Still have my drum set, but my son Chris over at Springdale has it now. We built a new house about 10 years ago, and I had to sell all my albums, which I had, Hot Dog Disco. I was still playing, but of course we've gone to CDs, and now y'all doing everything, wavelength with the computers and everything. So still got the drums, don't play them as much, but I still could if I had to.
I used to have a Hot Dog Disco T-shirt, but I don't know what happened to it.
Well, you will probably you must
I can see him wearing that.
We've got to bring that back. We've got to bring that back. Well,
Bring that back. Well, it's funny you said brought up Hot Dog Disco. I used to play the 4th of July out at the park. Hubble Plaza, we'd have set up on the trailer, a big old boy trailer out there, and play music and have a dance for everybody on the 4th of July. But after the disco kind of went away, I changed it to hot dog music, and I kept playing for years, and I played probably up to about 2015, so kind of retired now, but I've still got all that music on CD.
Well, I'm still out there involved in that 4th of July picnic on the stage entertainment stuff. I could get you back for one more show if you're interested.
Probably no one would want to see it on 70-year-old.
Ah.
That's a 7-year-old that can play pickleball. I'd say that's a pretty good 7-year-old.
Yeah.
Hey, now, Britt, don't you very unique. You've done a little bit of everything in your life. Haven't you officiated some pretty big NCAA track meets as well?
Yes, I do. I do that in the winter and spring. Track official for the University of Arkansas. We have a track club up here, and we travel around. We do all the meets here in Fayetteville, and then we do Division II meets up at Pittsburgh, Kansas, indoor and outdoor. And so I'm still doing that. I've been doing that probably about 10 years now. That is very enjoyable for me because I always loved track when I was in high school and college. And so I'm a horizontal jump, triple jump, long jump, and still doing that as well.
Hey, Brett, getting back to tennis, me and Andy were challenged to a doubles match by two of the tennis players last week. What would be the odds of us getting you down here to Corning to give us a few lessons?
You know what? I'd be glad to do that. In fact, I was following those 4 girls who played, went to the state 3A tennis last week, I think. Where'd they play? I'm not sure where they
played
Conway.
at Conway.
At Conway. Well, I was very impressed with those girls. I think the doubles team made it through the first round, but anytime you can make it to state in tennis, that means you're one of the best 16 players in the state. So that's saying a lot. And if you win a round, that means you're one of the best 8 top players in the state. So I was very proud of those young ladies from Corning doing so well in the state tournament last week.
Now, one of those was my daughter.
Yeah, where'd you get that from?
Hey, I played tennis. I went to state in tennis. Presley Martin.
Okay. Well, congratulations. She's a good tennis player.
Well, thank you.
Britt, was Rich good at tennis? He just
don't
told us
know.
he's all state.
I didn't say I was all state. I went to state.
Oh,
He went to stay. He went to watch.
he went to
I didn't go
watch.
to watch. I played. Me and Greg Wilson played doubles.
Still playing today?
Let's challenge him, Andy.
No, sir. I had a wreck in 05, and I'm not able to play anymore. But I get out there and hit with my daughter.
Yeah, do that as much as you can because they'll never forget that. I tell you that. That's something you need to do as a dad. That's great.
Well, Britt, if we end up going through with this challenge and these girls demolish us, please don't judge us and please don't call laughing at us because neither one of us know what we're doing. So.
Well, you might need a few lessons just to know what you're doing, but I bet those girls, they're probably pretty solid. They'll be tough to beat because they've been through some tough matches, playing in conference and then in state. So
I bet we hit more home runs than they do.
We do too. Oh, well, Brett, we appreciate you, man. You've been great. You've been great to me personally. A few years ago, I had this crazy idea for a dinner banquet, and I don't know what I was thinking, and I needed a master of ceremony because I couldn't do it. I had too much going on, and I call you. Everybody referred you, by the way. I mean, everybody referred you. And I call you, and you didn't even. You were like, when and where. Just tell me when and where, and that meant a lot to me. And you did an excellent job that night. If I haven't told you that before, I want to tell you now, and I really appreciate you for that.
well, thank you, Andy. I appreciate what you're doing for Corning. I love Corning. I think about Corning, every day. I mean, that's some of the best years of my life, and representing the Bobcats and Corning High School. And I tell you what, if y'all haven't gotten this book, I want to promote David Wilson.
Yes.
He called me this summer.
Yeah.
And wanted to interview me. I grew up in a small town, and it talks about growing up in Corning, and those were some of the best years of my life, and I want people to know that. So get this book. You can order it on Amazon. He's honoring the sesquicentennial of Corning, Arkansas, 1873, 150 years to 2023.
Yep.
And you talk about somebody that loves the community and their town, David Wilson. He does, and he wrote about a lot of us in this book. And if you haven't gotten it, y'all get that. Put it on your Christmas list. And get
There
that
you go.
for Christmas. Now that didn't come from David. That came from me, Rick James.
That's right. That's right. That's a good plug here for him. I like it too because it's the timing of that was really good. Obviously, 150 years next year, and he wasn't sure when he first started if he could get it done in time. So everything really worked out well for that. So I second that notion.
All right. And, Andy, I want to thank you for asking me to MC that because I got to see so many people I haven't seen in years. My Corning will always be near and dear my heart, and I appreciate the work that you guys are doing. I broadcast Springdale High School football for 25 years on the radio.
Yep.
Rex is up there doing the PA, for Corning. That's his hometown. He loves it. You guys are all contributing with everything that you're doing, and that's what Corning's all about. So I applaud what you guys are doing.
I'm glad you brought that up. I was about to get off here, but didn't you? Weren't you the radio guy during the Springdale 5 and the Mitch Mustaine era there, and during that time?
I'm glad you mentioned that because you're right. I was there. I did it from 1990 to 2015, and Mitch Mustaine, Damian Williams, Andrew Norman, Ben Cleveland. I think they had 6 Division I players on that team.
The kicker as well. I can't remember his name now, but
yeah, they mercy ruled. I mean, they basically played half the games, and they still mercy ruled every opponent that year in 2005. That was the best high school football team that I've ever had the pleasure of broadcasting for. But they were just awesome, and those guys, came out with the college and had great careers. But that was under Gus Malzahn.
Yep.
And Coach Malzahn called me into his office. Quick story on Coach Gus. Well, they were playing Bentonville, and it was for the conference championship back in 2005. They started the game off, and Springdale got the ball. Later in the game, Bentonville had cut it to 6, I think. Or Springdale had scored, and we're still up 6. But they pooch kicked on the kickoff, and of course I was calling the play, and I said out loud, on the air, I'm not sure why Springdale pooch kicked to Bentonville, only leading by 6 at that point. Well, guess what? I got a call Monday morning. Malzahn wanted me to come over to his office.
oh wow.
Brett, I appreciate the job you do broadcasting the games, but I don't think you really need to kind of call us out on something like that. And I said, Coach, well, maybe you can answer the question then on why did you pooch kick when you're only up 6 and it's late in the game and give them a short field to try to tie the game or go ahead? And he said, well, we were just trying to catch them off guard.
Well, he caught everybody off guard, it sounds like.
They usually, we were going to try to go down and kick in that net zone, try to recover the ball. And usually, they had Alex Tejada.
That's the kicker, yes.
He kicked it to the end zone every time he kicked it.
Yep.
That was a little pooch kick. I didn't think that was a very good call. But you let me know real quick. You didn't appreciate me talking about it.
Hey, what was it like at those games? I mean, obviously you had a ton of Division I kids there. Was there a ton of coaches or different people with different college shirts on, scouts at those games?
Well, yes, there was. In fact, of course, we see the other coaches, but we were more interested because we wanted those guys to stay in Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw Coach Brawls and Coach Nutt together at several of those guys, the home games,
Yeah.
in Springdale.
Yep.
Those crowds, we'd have 5,000 people in the stands. Every game would be sold out. And then when we got to the championship game in War Memorial, I guess West Memphis, there was 25,000 there. And that was like half the stadium, for a high school game, which had never been done before.
Yeah.
So it was awesome. Every Friday night, it was an event. The momentum just, continued throughout the entire year wherever we went on the road. North side, Portsmouth North side, South side, Bentonville, Rogers. Every stadium, fans would just flock because they wanted to see. They wanted to see how good the team really was. And like I said, usually the game was over
by halftime.
These guys didn't even play the second half.
Yeah.
They were that good.
There's Britt. There's a lot of people, a lot of media pundits out there that say that's the best Arkansas high school football team in the history of Arkansas high school football. There's many people that have said that. Well, what's that like getting to call a team like that?
Well, you kind of get spoiled, you know. Every week, I mean, you prepare to call the game, and of course you had to get pretty good on getting the second teamers and backup guys in there because, like I said, they only played half the game, and it was just so exciting. The atmosphere was so exciting every week that, boy, it seemed like it went by just like that. You know, they ended up 14-0 that year. It was one of, I don't know if it was the greatest team, but it was one of the greatest. I know Little Rock Central back in the back in the 60s.
Yep.
Under Matthews, Coach Wilson Matthews, they went undefeated for several years and were ranked in
Pine
the
Bluff as well.
polls. But that particular year, and a lot of people don't know this, Springdale was going to play South Oak Cliff in Dallas. They tried to get a game. They were ranked 1. Springdale was ranked number 2 in the nation.
Yep.
They tried to work it out logistically, and they couldn't make it happen. But Coach Malzahn and the coach from South Oak Cliff wanted to play after the state championships. But, you know, Texas goes longer than Arkansas does.
Yes.
They have bigger class, more classification, more teams.
Yes.
Their playoffs, I think, actually lasted 2 more weeks after, you know, Arkansas's playoffs were over, the championship games. And so they just couldn't work it out. They were going to try and play it during Christmas break, but it just wouldn't work out. They couldn't get enough people, you know, to logistically make it work. But I wish I'd seen those 2 teams play. That would have been something that people would have talked about for years as well.
Now, Britt, if we ever have a night on CSR where we need a play-by-play announcer, do you still have it in you?
Oh yeah.
we may call you and pay for your expenses and then some night just to get you back on the air one more time.
Oh, that'd be great. I'd enjoy that, Andy. Any way I can help you, I'll be glad to do it.
Well, Britt, we appreciate you, buddy. That's been Britt James. I want to thank him for jumping on with us today. Guys, we owe you a break. We'll come back and we'll wrap this episode number 6 of Good Morning Corning up. Red Taylor Ford, your family-owned and operated hometown dealer right here in Corning for over 45 years now. Any of your automotive needs, go by and see them, whether it's sales, maybe new or used, or parts or service. They've got you taken care of. You can see them Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., or Saturday, 7 to noon. A lot of friendly faces there, like David and Brent Taylor, Jim Clifton. Or you can call those fine folks at 870-857-3516. Find them on Facebook. Find them online, www.redtaylorford.com. Proud sponsors of KBKG More Music 93.5 FM and of the Corning Bobcats. KBKG More Music 93.5 FM. Corning's hometown station. That's what you're listening to right now, and we appreciate you for tuning in. Hey guys, if you want to tune in every Friday night during football season, we'll have all the Corning Bobcat football games live on your radio waves right here. Also select basketball games, baseball, and softball games. That's right here, More Music 93.5. Also, we want to say thank you to Jim Atkins, owner-operator at KBKG, for all he does and for allowing us to do this radio show this morning, and Amanda Sutphin for all of her help, and Rob Barnett for all he does as well. Again, KBKG, More Music 93.5, Corning's hometown station. Go Cats, go. You're listening to Good Morning Corning, our new radio station here in our hometown of Corning, Arkansas. Red Taylor Ford, your family-owned and operated hometown dealer right here in Corning for over 45 years now. Any of your automotive needs, go by and see them, whether it's sales, maybe new or used, or parts or service. They've got you taken care of. You can see them Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., or Saturday, 7 to noon. A lot of friendly faces there, like David and Brent Taylor, Jim Clifton. Or you can call those fine folks at 870-857-3516. Find them on Facebook. Find them online, www.redtailorford.com. Proud sponsors of KVKG More Music 93.5 FM and of the Corning Bobcats. KVKG More Music 93.5 FM. Corning's hometown station. That's what you're listening to right now, and we appreciate you for tuning in. Hey guys, if you want to tune in every Friday night during football season, we'll have all the Corning Bobcat football games live on your radio waves right here. Also select basketball games, baseball, and softball games. That's right here, More Music 93.5. Also, we want to say thank you to Jim Atkins, owner-operator at KBKG, for all he does and for allowing us to do this radio show this morning, and Amanda Sutphin for all of her help, and Rob Barnett for all he does as well. Again, KBKG, More Music 93.5, Corning's hometown station. Go Cats, go. You're listening to Good Morning Corning, our new radio station here in our hometown of Corning, Arkansas, hosted by myself, Andy Earls, and co-hosted by Bart White and Mark Hufford, right here on KBKG, More Music 93.5. Look ahead to more of these radio shows, and your current show will be back on very shortly. Thanks for tuning in. And we're back here live. Good morning, Corning. Guys, we're done with the interviews. What do you guys want to talk about?
I'd like to talk about Rich's overalls.
My outfit.
Yeah, look at this. Can we get that on camera? That's nice. Now, listen, he's got the Bobcat hat, the Bobcat undershirt, the black and gold overalls, which I don't know where he got those.
You know what his new nickname is now?
What's that?
Bumblebee.
He's even got his Bobcat jacket on.
I saw that.
Oh, yeah.
I had one of those back when I was in like 7th grade.
Well, see, that right there, that Bobcat jacket. Well, let me get that.
Grab it.
We could probably show it, actually.
There you go.
Here we go,
There you go.
Here we go, Rich. Just
hold it up, Rich.
Hold it up, Rich.
See, it's got the Bobcat
nice.
on the back and
Nice.
He just had that made a couple of days ago over at All-Star Sporting Goods at Paragould.
when my boys play.
It's the old Bobcat right there, too. Look at that.
63 and 55.
Wow.
Cool.
Now that is
That's
neat
a nice jacket, Rich.
stuff. Yeah. Rich, would you take 25 for that? No, I'm kidding. All right, guys.
Hufford, help me.
Well, it depends on how many zeros at the end of that.
That's right.
Now, we've got Walnut Ridge tonight. Have you boys watched any film? What do y'all know? What do you think about Walnut Ridge?
Bart would never give me the tapes, so I didn't get to watch them.
Way to go, Bart.
What tape?
Thanks for
The
nothing.
football games.
I don't have them.
What are your thoughts, Mark, on Walnut Ridge?
I haven't got to watch any of the Walnut Ridge. I just go by what I'm hearing. 'Cause
Okay.
I work over in the area.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But, yeah, they do have a quarterback that can throw the ball and can run.
Yes.
And they play hard.
They do.
We went up against Hoxie last week and had a big, massive O-line
Sure.
and a pretty good-sized D-line. Walnut Ridge don't have the size, but they still got the heart. Our boys are going to have to play hard. That's all there is to it.
If I ain't mistaken, I'm pretty sure that their running back and quarterback have both rushed for close to 1,000 yards already this year.
Well, I can tell you exactly how much
Okay.
they've rushed for. Those names that you guys are talking about are going to be Walker Ward and Kai Watson, and two of these three right here, Rich and Bart, will probably be mentioning these names tonight. And if Jeremy doesn't show up, Mark will be mentioning it too, because he'll be up here with us.
Jeremy will be there.
But Walker Ward and Kai Watson, tell you a little bit about these guys, okay? Walker Ward right now on the season has 740 yards rushing and 11 touchdowns, which is really, really good here. We are, I guess it would be their, seventh game that they're going into. I know we played one more than them, I think, so their seventh game. That is impressive.
I'll tell you what's impressive also about the kid, 4.0 GPA.
And he made a 27 on his ACT test as well.
That's
this
impressive.
Walker Wood, he was on. I could go through. We got a lot of tidbits for these guys tonight. But real quick, he's also passing. He's 18 of 29, which is pretty good percentage, only 197 yards. But he's averaging 40 yards a punt return, which is really good for punt returns. And then you take the defensive side for that same guy, 63 tackles, 4 tackles for loss.
Wow.
Walker Ward is a man out there. Kai Watson. Kai's a 4'6", 40 guy. Last year, y'all probably remember that name from last year.
Yep.
On defense, he's got 3 interceptions and 10 pass deflections, okay? Big time. He's rushed for 701 yards and 12 touchdowns this year, and he's caught 14 passes as well. Those two names are going to be on. You're going to hear it tonight on CSR a lot. Kai Watts and Walker Ward. They also got another kid, Logan Saint, on offense that's very, very athletic. You'll hear about him. And then a receiver, I think it was Blaylock. I don't have that. It's on the other one, number 88. He can go up and get it. What they do, though, is a lot of unbalanced stuff. So, in other words, you'll see a couple linemen on this side, then you'll see 3 or 4 with a tight end and an up back. And, man, there's nothing real magical about it. There's not a lot of trickery. It's, hey, whatever that strong side is, they're more than likely going to that side. But they've done it all year.
Junior high had a lot of movement last night. I just wonder if the senior high is going
a little
to do
bit,
the
not
same
much.
thing.
Little bit of window dressing, not a whole lot. But, again, Coach Blake, they've had different offenses over there for the last few years. They've spread them out. They've done some different things. I think he's finally got this figured out. He took over after Treadway left.
Right.
He's finally got this thing over there figured out. Tell you a little bit about Walnut Ridge. They're 5-1 on the year, 2-0. Won at Piggott last week, 44-0. They are number 5 in the state in point differential. They are plus 23 points a game right now on average, which is extremely, extremely good. They are averaging 42 points a game, which is really, really good, and only giving up 19. So if that tells you anything. But their defense has looked kind of vulnerable at times.
Yeah, they're not just super strong, but we're going to be down. It sounds like one of our D-line guys is sick, so we're going to be down. That's kind of going to hurt us because
sure,
pretty stout young man there.
Yeah, that definitely won't help. And their defense, for the issues they've had last week, they finally pitched a shutout. So I know it was against Piggott, I know, but still, they did pitch a shutout there. So this is an interesting stat, and this is for you guys because y'all going to be commentating tonight. Per game, rushing attempts, passing attempts. This is Walnut Ridge offense so far this year. 45 rushing attempts per game on average, 5 passing attempts a game on average.
So they're not going to pass very much.
If they don't have to. Now, at EPC they had to, and they showed that they could do it, but they probably won't. They'll probably be trying to run it down our throat type of thing and try to wear you out in the second half type of stuff. I think the key to this game tonight is our backside defense. If they try to cheat and get out in there and get back here to get these guys in the backfield, that's not going to happen. You're not going to be quick enough. You've got to do backside pursuit a better angle because these 60, 70, 50-yard gains, these gas yards they got, you can turn them into 5 and 10-yard gains. I know it's still – but make them earn. Make that be a 12, 13, 14-play drive instead of a 2-play drive. Maybe something
kind of like Brett
happens.
was talking about when they played him with Mac McClain.
Bingo.
Same deal.
There you go. So it'll be interesting tonight. We'll bring it to you live. Walnut Ridge has homecoming, so I assume kickoff will start at 7. At times in the past, we've had a homecoming game, and kickoff was a little bit later. But we'll go live probably around 6:30. We do need one camera person, so just throwing that out there if anybody out there could help. We do need one camera person tonight. You guys have anything that y'all want to add, anything you want to say before we
go Bobcats?
Definitely go Bobcats, but one player that is being talked about, he's not in 3A, he's in 4A, is the Connor kid out of Pocahontas.
Yeah, so Connor Baker. So let's talk.
This kid is amazing now.
I've heard a lot of good things about him.
Yeah, let's talk about him in a little more detail if we can. Connor Baker, this is who Mark is alluding to. Connor Baker, Pocahontas. Listen to this. This is updated as of this week. I made sure I updated it this week. He only needs, this is crazy, this is wild, he only needs 11 rushing touchdowns to break the career rushing touchdown record, not at Pocahontas, not in Northeast Arkansas, not in 4A, in the entire state of Arkansas history, ever. There are 5 players currently with 97 rushing touchdowns. 97. He has 80. Oh, no, I'm sorry. He has 87 because he needs 10 to tie and 11 to break it. And his average, the way it's going and how many games they have left, he's going to break that.
I hope he does.
That is
wow. I hope he does.
That is big time. So I'm glad you mentioned that.
Way to go, Mark.
Good job, Mark.
Well, he's good for something.
I am friends with one of his family members.
Yeah.
And they talk about also how humble he is.
That's awesome.
It's good to see a kid succeed, but when you got one that's humble that can play like that, it's even better.
That's even better,
absolutely.
Man. Speaking of kids that were really good,
that's the way Andy was.
Not even close. Speaking of kids that were really good, that maybe we know or seen, your leader this year right now in the state of Arkansas in rushing, I don't care if it's 2A, 7A, if it's whatever A, double A battery, triple A, it don't matter. Dennis Gaines of EPC.
Good Lord.
14. He's on pace for nearly 3,000 yards rushing, guys.
What's that bring his average up to per game?
It was 260-something, if I remember right. That's insane.
And he's just a junior, right?
He's just a junior.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, they said his brother's as good as him.
That's what they claim. Now, of course, you never know as time goes on.
Right.
And then we had the high school football field goal record almost got shattered last week by a Benton kicker, Lucas Wilbur. He kicked a 54-yarder, had like 5 or 6 yards more than that, and he just missed it wide right. They had a Harding Academy kicker. He made a 55-yarder, which ranks third all time. That was this year. So kickers are becoming the story this year. That's kind of neat seeing special teams play.
Hey, speaking of kickers, after I got off the phone with you the other night,
Jesus
Jesus said anytime you want him to get out on the field at halftime and kick
Yeah.
a field goal, he'll do it.
Why don't we have a kickoff between Mark Hufford and Jesus Ambrosio at halftime?
I'd like to see that.
I would too.
Hey, Zeus, I'm coming for you.
Hey, Jesus said my cleats are a little wore out, but he said I'll get my spikes out.
I don't know if they had cleats back in Mark's day.
They play barefoot back
Yeah,
there.
barefoot.
You ain't that old, are you, Mark?
I'm getting on up there.
How old are you?
54.
54. You are old.
I am.
Thanks, Bart.
He's
Way
a-
to go.
He's a
dude.
young man.
And he still has more hair than you do, Bart.
That ain't got nothing to do with age. That's genetics.
Talking about kickers, Rich was there last night. Something
Yeah.
you don't normally see on a junior high team is they have a kicker.
Yes.
Really?
Gonzalez, I think was his
Yes,
last name.
Christian
Jose?
Gonzalez.
That's
Christian
awesome.
Gonzalez.
Gonzalez.
Love it.
That's Tony's great nephew.
And I'm
You're
telling
just
you,
making that up. You don't even know. Tony Gonzalez is a great tight end in the NFL for a long time.
Yeah, that's
He
his
was
great
almost
nephew.
perfect last night.
yeah, he missed one out of 5.
Well, it'll be neat to see him come up then and come
Yeah.
up through. Did 7th grade win last night, Mark?
7th grade did.
That's awesome.
Hey, I was
One
over there
touchdown.
parked in my truck
awesome.
behind the Walnut Ridge bleachers. What happened when they run that long touchdown? Was there a penalty or something?
There was a holding penalty
Okay.
and got called back.
All right, I figured that's what it was, but I couldn't hear.
There was 2 big plays on 7th grade
Yeah.
for the Corning and Walnut Ridge, and both of those plays got called back.
Oh. Come on, officials. If it was J.R. Warrock, we're going to call him and give him a hard time. No, I'm kidding. We're not going to do that.
No, you wouldn't.
We really aren't. We can say that because we love him. He's on our staff. So what was their, Rich, Mark, what was their record this year, 7th grade? Do y'all know?
They've only lost one
Yeah,
game.
Yeah,
now
we lost one.
7-1.
So they played 9, I guess, or 10?
8.
Well, Andy,
7-1.
7-1 adds up to 8.
Well, I didn't know how
Nine
many
or 10.
games. I didn't know how many games they
Oh,
played.
I got you.
I was asking if they played 9
Brooklyn's
or
the
10
only team that's
games.
beat them,
Okay.
and it was like a 6-0 game. Is that right?
Very first
Yeah.
game of the year, wasn't it?
Sounds like they had
Yeah.
a pretty good defense then. My goodness. That's awesome. We'll love to see that.
I look forward to see those kids
Yes.
come up if they stick together.
You know, that's one of the things at these small schools. It's hard to – sometimes you'll have that one class that's really good, but it's hard to get back-to-back classes. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you always have that one class and there'll be a gap, and there'll be another good class and there'll be a gap. And in small schools, you really need those 2 classes back-to-back.
Boy, it'd be nice if you had
why it
3
was
back-to-back.
important for these seniors to mentor
Sure.
to these
Yeah.
younger guys.
Sure.
To tell them how it needs to be when they move up.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I know when I played going up, we had a really good senior class, Corey Godwin and those guys, and they were never made us feel any less than them. And, and they did mentor us, Clint Evans and guys like that. And I,
Did they mentor you, or did you mentor them, Andy?
no, don't. That's my biggest fan right here, guys, Mr. Bart White.
I told him one night,
He
I said, next time
exaggerates
I
a
give you
little.
a compliment,
It's a
you
little.
kind of push it away. I said, I'm going to slap you.
He's going to back
I'm
him.
gonna slap
And
your
then,
thigh head.
then you know what I'm going to do?
What?
I'm going to poke you in the chest. That's what I'm going to do, buddy. Yeah. He don't like that, just for the record. All right, guys. Anything else before we get off here? I know
No.
we've yapped a lot.
Now,
Folks, if you can't come to the game tonight, join us on CSR on
Yep.
YouTube or Facebook. But
Yep.
we'd like to see everybody come to the game and support
Yes.
the Bobcats.
Yes, the Corning Bobcats.
Corning,
Next.
Bobcats. Hey, I'm going to make a prediction tonight, boys. The Bobcats will win. What do you think?
He's so smooth, isn't he?
Oh, he is. And next
What's the
week,
game get canceled?
not tomorrow night, but a week from Friday is Pink Out night at the Corning.
Yes.
Oh, I
High
didn't know
school.
that. Oh, I'm glad
Pink
you
out,
said. Here, we
yes.
need to write that down on our
Pink
notes.
Out.
We're gonna
Everybody
get some
needs
pink,
to wear pink
CSR polos.
for breast cancer.
I think I've
You
got one.
some? You won. It ain't going to fit all 3 of us.
Go to Lynn Mashton or Alex and get those.
I've never wore a pink shirt in my life, man. I don't know.
You and Mitch Brown probably have 3 or 4.
Probably. They probably do.
Rich, you're about to get slapped
Mitch,
on
we
live
love you,
TV.
buddy. but Mitch does love the color pink. Nothing wrong with that at all. Yeah, I'm glad you said that because so that is next Friday though, right?
Not tomorrow, or not today, but next
But
week.
next Friday at home, we got a
Palestine Wheatley.
Palestine Wheatley Pink Out. They will tell you. I learned the hard way. They will tell you it's Palestine.
Boys, after tonight's game, the next 2 games are really, really, really important.
Very, very important.
Yeah, listen. Hey, they take. I'm glad you said that. So they're taking 5 teams, I believe. Yeah, 5 teams this year out of 3A. So essentially, if everything pans out and you win 2 games in conference, good chance you get that 5th seed. And hey, I'm glad y'all said that.
Well, let
So-
me ask you this.
Go ahead.
I was thinking about this last
Okay, that's
night.
good. Go ahead.
Okay. if we beat Palestine,
Palestine.
and then they beat Pickett.
Okay.
If all of us come away with one win each, will it be a tiebreaker?
There's a
for those three.
There's a tiebreaker scenario, and what it does is I think if it's a true round robin, if we beat, say, Palestine beats Pickett, and Pickett, Palestine beats Pickett, then it'll go off a point system, and I think 13's the max, and it's your margin of victories on there is what they do. So that is interesting, though. But another interesting thing with the 5th seed, there's a game to watch tonight if any of these teams can get to that final playoff spot, and it's the 3A game of the week. It's Rising at Fordyce. Right now, they're tied it for first in 6-3A. Why that's important is whoever's the 5th seed in our conference will play the number 2 seed in the first round of their conference. More than likely, the loser of that game tonight between Rising and Fordyce, who both really good, long history, will be the number 2 seed more than likely, and that's who the 5th seed will have to go play. So that's an interesting game to keep away from here to kind of keep an eye on.
If we make the playoffs, do you know where we'll be playing at?
It'll be more than likely Rising or Fordyce.
Yeah. Okay, but that's a pretty good trip.
Now, unless we can sneak into that 4th seed, which is still possible. It won't be easy. You have to win out, but it won't be easy. But it's still possible. Then it would be like the Centerville, Jessieville. There's another one, like maybe Horatio. No, that's not Horatio. But anyways, one of those teams. It'll be a little bit of a drive. No matter what, we've got a little bit of a drive.
Sure.
Well, we got to get there first. Let's get there first, then we'll worry about that. But,
for Old Man Radio.
That's right. It's his new name.
Old Man Radio.
We got Old Man Radio, Old Man River, Old Man Golden Leg, who's going to challenge Jesus to a kick. I wonder if we can get that done for real. You think? I bet.
He said he'd do it.
I wonder if, Mr. Hampton, if you're watching at halftime, maybe after the band plays, we don't take away the spotlight. If we can have a kicking competition between Mark Hufford and Jesus Ambrosio, who is an alumni, we would love that. We'll film
he's still kicking. He goes out to football field.
Did you know that, Mark, before you agreed to that?
Oh, he's cheating already.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Mark practices all the time.
I do. I kick butt a lot.
Show us how far you can. You better stretch really good before this is all I'm going to say. All right, guys. Well, if we don't have anything else,
we do one more thing.
Okay.
We would like to give our condolences to the Richardson family.
Yes.
John was a good member of the community. Timothy did some work for him.
Yeah, I remember when Timothy came over there.
He was one that would just take you underneath his wing.
Yes. And
just pick your brain to see what you knew and then feed you more information. So he's going to be greatly missed. So our condolences to the family. Prayers go out to all of you.
Yep.
Do we know? We posted on our page. Do we know when the visitation and where and all that?
It's just going to be at a later date's what they put.
Okay, so there's not a split. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to get that out there for the people too. Okay. Well, I tell you what, guys, this has been a fun one for sure. I'm glad we had a little bit of time here to talk. We
don't ever get to do that.
No, and we always wanted to. We just didn't get a chance
they
to.
don't ever show
we can make fun of each other and
it's hard to get
stuff
a word
like
in
that.
edgewise.
Yeah, especially with Rich over there.
I know.
Hey, Brett, this is Rich again, Brett, for the 57th question.
Hey,
I'm just kidding, man.
Hey, they were good. They were good, though.
They were.
See, I like.
He knew it was you. If somebody talks to you on the phone or hears you on the radio, if they don't know that it's Rich Martin, there's something wrong with them.
Well,
that's true.
Just wanted him to
He's got the voice.
It's funny. Every person when you interview, Rich is like, "Hey, on Saturday in September 23rd, 1973, you're at the grocery store. You remember that?
You remember that box of Raisin Bran you dropped on the floor and busted?"
Yeah, Rich. He just has all that. So I'm glad we have Rich. Mark keeps us straight. I tell you, I don't know how many times we got a little sideways today, and Mark had to kind of pull the reins a little bit.
I saw him shaking his finger.
Lasso, yeah. Thank goodness he's professional.
Yeah.
That's right. Don't want to talk about that, but yeah, and I know I had a good time, Bart. I don't know about you, but
I had a great time, man.
Except for the issues we had.
I have a great time. I look forward to Fridays because we do this on the away games.
Yep.
And Friday night, man,
it's fun, man. It really is. It's
win or lose. I'm gonna be there to support Corning.
Yes.
I probably support him a little bit too much as a commentator, but
that's okay. Well,
that's
funny.
Just the way it's going to be.
It's funny. Britt said that, and of course, as a commentator, sometimes maybe you say stuff you should.
I have.
I know I have too, and maybe I shouldn't. But like you said, you have passion for the team. You want to see them do good, and sometimes we say stuff. So if any of the coaches have any issues, anything we say, let us know. We'll do our best to try to taper that back. We did have an issue
Or it might make it worse.
We did have an issue. Yeah. We did have an issue last week where we had mentioned a comment, and I tell these
that's my fault.
No, it's not. It's my fault. I tell these guys to always engage with the people and mention the comments. That's on me.
Yeah, but I'm the one that read the comment, and I wasn't even thinking about it when I read it.
No, it's fine. And we called, we smoothed everything over, everything's fine there. But so sometimes there are some ugly comments on there, and
it wasn't that the comment was ugly, but it got taken the wrong way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I can see that too. So, but I think everything's smooth over now. Matter of fact, we might be doing a playoff.
There was actually a couple of them on there that I didn't read because of that fact.
Yeah. Well, sometimes when you get these headsets on, you guys know, all y'all know, y'all have done this for me before several times for CSR. You got stuff in front of you. You got monitors, papers. You just read it like
right.
There's too much going on for you not to.
Loud people.
Loud people, yeah. And Bart singing.
Bart singing.
Yeah. Every time the band would play something, Bart knew the song.
Yeah. You guys have to tune in tonight.
Ethan gets it.
It's a lot of fun, I promise you. We hope you're there, but if you can't, tune in with us.
Yeah, come on, join us at Walnut Ridge.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys, for Old Man Radio, Rich Martin,
Bumblebee,
for Mark Daddy Hufford, for the Yellow Ninja Turtle that I don't know the name of.
Yellow? I didn't know there was a yellow one.
Is it yellow?
No, there's not a yellow one.
It's like gold, but it's really yellow. I say yellow, it's really orange.
Bartatello.
Bartholomew White. Andy Earl signing off. God bless you. We'll see you
tonight, folks.